how can we create the wrapper classes here? So for each and every primitive type, there will be one wrapper class here. For example, I have a byte primitive data types. For this byte, we have a wrapper class called byte. For example, we have a short is a primitive data type. So for this short also corresponding wrapper class will be available. What is that one? Short here. Int, for int, so we don't have an int, we have an integer. So for long we have a long. So this is about the now. Similarly here, what about the float? For float also there will be one wrapper class called float. What about the double? For double also we have a double wrapper class. So for char we have a character, and for boolean also we have a one wrapper class is there here. So boolean, so there is a boolean wrapper class here. Okay, so that means what I'm trying to say is for each and every primitive type there will be one wrapper class here. Then how can we create these wrapper classes here or wrapper objects? So there are constructors. So for each and every class, so for each and every wrapper class will is having the two constructors. Okay, except this character. Okay, so one will take the primitive type and another will take the string type. For example, I want to create the integer here, integer wrapper. So integer I1 is equal to new integer. One will take the primitive and another so constructor will take the so string here in the form of strings here. So this is about the so constructor creating the primitive objects here. So but in the case of character, so this character class is having the only one constructor, so that will take only primitive type, not string type. If you are trying to keep the string type, it will give the compile time error. So then how can we construct this one? So character c is equal to new character here. So because it is a classes, by using the so new keyword only, so we can create the objects here. Okay, so this is about the one here. It will take the only primitive type here. A, if I'm trying to take double quotes here, so like a here will give the compile time error. So this is about the constructors. So for each and every proper class, long also we have a long L is equal to new long of some number. That means so these constructor, these proper classes except character will have the two constructors, but character class is having the only one constructor. So that is the one here. Now see, same example I'm going to take here. Test.java see, so first one here is integer. I want to take integer I1 is equal to so new integer. So these integers are all available in the okay java.lang package. Okay, so here I want to take the primitive int like this, perfectly valid. Okay, so this throws IO exception is not required for us. See. So what is the another constructor we have? So we have integer I2 is equal to so new integer of string form here. So system.println here I1 I am printing. Similarly I want to print the I2, so it will give the so 10 only. See, 10 is the output here. So if you give the 100 here, so it will give the 10 and 100 is the output for us. Okay, so this is about the so 10 and all here. That's it. This is about the constructors here. So for example, already I explained this one. Instead of so 10 or 100, I'm giving the 10 here. In this case, what will happen? So the gem will not able to so convert this text or word to the 10 here. So it will not identify this one. What is 10 here? So in this case, which exception we may get? Number format exception we may get here. See, it will be the number format exception for input string 10 here. Okay, that one. So that is the one you have to remember here. That's it. This is about the proper classes and constructors here. Now what about the next method is the value of method. So what is the next topic here? Value of method. What is the purpose of the value of method? Okay, so I will give you one example so that you can understand here. The purpose of this value of method is for creation of proper object. That is, so these are alternative to the constructors. Okay, so this value of method is alternative to the constructor. Okay, that means we can create the wrapper classes here. So how can we create the wrapper objects? By using the value of method here. Okay, so now see, I want to create one integer object. Now say integer. So value of method is a static method. So that's why I'm calling that method by using the class name integer dot. So value of method here. So this value of method will take the primitive type. So what it will return? It will return the integer only. Integer I1 it will take. Next one here is, so this value of method will take the string type here, just like a normal constructor. Now this is the one here. So what is the use of this one? We can convert this primitive to the object form, wrapper object, or string to the this object, wrapper object. Okay, so that is the two differences here. So now I'm taking this one here. This method is the alternative to the preparing the object here. Now see, 100 we are getting here. So this is about the first method is the value of method here. So I will give the one diagram here. So what is the use of the value of method? So by using the diagram, you can easily remember the thing here. So for example, I have one primitive here, or I have a string here. Now I want to convert that primitive or string to the wrapper object. Then which method we have to use? We have to use the value of method we have to use here. We have to use the value of method. So here it can be primitive or string here. So then, if we have a primitive or a string, by using the value of method, so we can get the wrapper object here. Wrapper object. That's it. So this is a primitive. So the second one is a string. So that's why I took this diagram here. This is about the first method. That is nothing but a value of method here. Coming to the next method, that is the xx value method here. What is the use of this one? For every number type wrapper class means byte, short, integer, long, float, double. So those 6 classes we have these methods like xx value method. So for example here, I have a wrapper class here. For example, I'm taking the float, f is equal to new float here. New float, it contains some data like 189.89 something f I'm taking here. So from this wrapper class, I want to get the primitive data, like what is the int value, what is the byte value, what is the short value. Okay, so for that, SOP of f dot byte value, xx value. Similarly, I can get the what is the short value from the float here. So for that, we have a f dot short value. Okay, same example I'm going to take here. You can find the long float also. You can find here. See here. System.println here. This one is not required. This one here. Okay, in the similar way we can use the what is the long value, what is the int value. That means that's what took xx value. Okay, so now int value I can find it here. Similarly we can find it the long value, and you can find it the float value also. Float value. Similarly you can find the double value. Okay, so this is the way of finding the primitive numbers, primitive values from the wrapper object here. So if you see the diagram, you can understand very easily here. Now see, that means I have one wrapper object here. So from the wrapper object, I want to convert into the primitives here. So then which method we have to use? We have to use the xx value method we have to use. Okay, so that is about the second diagram we have to take here. What is that one here? So xx value method here. So here we have a one wrapper object. From the wrapper, I want to convert to the primitive here. Primitives here. So for that, we have to use the xx value method. So this is about the simple one here. Next one here is we have a parse xx method. Okay, so that already discussed as part of the reading the data from the keyboard. So anyhow, I will discuss one more time here. So that is one parse xx method here. For example, I want to convert the string to the integer. Then we have to use the integer dot parse enter. For example, I want to convert the string to the long. Then we have to use the long dot parse long. That means what I'm trying to say is integer dot parse int we have. So if I'm giving the string as a argument here, it will return the primitive value int value. Similarly here, for example, I want to get the long value from the string. Then we have a, instead of parse int, we have a parse long here. Then we need to provide the 140 45 something. It will give the long value for us. So in this way, we can make use of the parse xx here. So that already discussed. Now one more time I am explaining here. See, so here you can give the 190 something. You can whatever you want you can give. So one I'm taking here. So system.out.println here. So both are duplicate variables. That's why I'm taking the value 1 here. Value, and I'm taking the value 1 I'm taking here. So control F11. See 890 45 here. What it is doing? What is the method? This method is doing. So it is converting the string to the primitive values here. It is converting the string to the primitive value. So this is about the thing here. Okay. So I'll give the diagram so that you can understand things here. We have a one string and I want to convert the string to the primitive. So for that we have to use the which method? We have to use the parse xx method here. Parse xx. Here we have a string. I'll give the final diagram and it will give the primitive type here. So this is about the parse xx here. Now finally we have one more method, that is the toString method here. ToString method here. What is the use of the toString method here? So there are two cases here. Case 1 here. So for example, I want to convert the wrapper to the string like integer I1 is equal to new integer of 10. I1 is equal to new integer of, I'm taking the 10 here. Now I want to convert this wrapper to the string here. So that we have to use the I1 dot toString method we have to use. Then it will give the one string object for us. str. That means we can convert the wrapper to the string also. This is the first case 2 here. For example, I have one primitive. I want to convert the primitive to the string. So vice versa, like parse xx is there like. So for example, I have a primitive, like how it will be like this: integer dot toString. So here I'm taking the primitive value 200. I want to convert this 200 to the string. So here integer dot toString method. So we have, it will return the string str. It will return here str1. So this is about the toString method here. Case 1 and case 2 here. It's the case 1. This is about the